Joining us now on our special edition of This is the Day in Hawaii, we have Father Lane Akiona. Thank you so much for being with us, Father.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And we are in the Damien and Marianne of Molokaʻi Education Center, and it's a beautiful place. And maybe if you could tell us a little bit about this and how this sort of all came to fruition and as we progress in the building of this up.
Thank you. Yes. The idea came about 2008, just before Damien was to be canonized, and we were frantically moving around. Wow, what do we do now? We have to present something for people who want to know about Damien. And so the idea came, we should build a center. Basically, it was a museum, what we're looking at. And then it just evolved into what it is now. But the purpose was to share with people the life of Damien and the work that he did in Kalawao and Kalapapa and Molokaʻi. And
as we have this center right now too, and maybe if you could talk about the stages and the hopes as you go through this now, because you have everything sort of here based and ready to take the next step.
Yes. Before COVID hit us in 2019, we're ready to launch a major fundraiser to complete the exhibits and the displays portion. Because of those 2 years, we're not able to fundraise. And so basically we're fundraising to make that a reality. We have all the artifacts that we need, all the display information, the audio equipment that we needed, all of that, the lighting. So it's all ready, except for the internal aspects of the center. And so we're hoping that we're able to raise it within the next year or so, and then hopefully by next year we'll be able to open up again to the public.
Talk about the importance of this center, of getting the story of Damien and Marianne out to people, and how important that is.
I think for us in Hawaii and for a member of the congregation with the Sacred Hearts, it is our legacy. Our brother came in service to the native Hawaiian people, and in doing that, the disease spread. And then he shifted his focus that he wanted to be of greater assistance to those who are stricken. And so he befriended a local Protestant doctor who taught him some of the finer things about medicine and how to care for people. And so when the call came out for someone to go to Kalawao, he was the first to volunteer, and the rest is history. I think for us, Damien was the model that teaches us of that selfless giving, so that others may feel that they are valued by God and that they're loved by God as well too. So,
and for people to learn about this story too, and I know talking to you too, you want to showcase some of the people that were on Kalapapa too, and the people that had Hansen's disease and leprosy, and how important their stories are too to be included in this museum, education center.
I think, at least from my perspective, if there was no leprosy or disease, then saints would not rise to the forefront. But that's exactly what happened. And Damien and Marianne heard the call, and they were more than willing to come and do what they could to help people. And now the focus we have is to focus on those whom they cared for, because definitely we know that they have family members living today who want to connect with those loved ones that they never knew that was in Kalapapa and Kalawao as well too. So that's our challenge, is making that connection.
And it's beautiful center too, and maybe if you could talk about where we're standing in, and you talked about this church and how important this church is.
In Kalawao, the St. Philomena's was a small chapel, and Damien set out to enlarge in it because the numbers had increased. And so this is a replica of the inside of that chapel, not exactly as it is, but very similar to it. So I think when the architect and I talked about a space that would not necessarily be a church, but at least a quiet place for reflection and meditation for people. after seeing the exhibits and the displays, contemplate us to look at the deeper thought that went on in their lives and how they were able to serve.
And I know you're the provincial of the order that St. Damien was a part of as well. What does that mean to you to be a part of this and to try to continue St. Damien's legacy here?
For me as provincial, I think we carry that legacy of service to the people today in the 21st century. And what a challenge it is. Right here in Waikiki, we have a large homeless populace, and very often society and leaders want to just push them aside and not be seen. But the reality is they are seen, and to carry on the legacy of Damien and Marianne, to provide food for them is just one component. And in serving them with food, there are other components that we're able to help them in as well too.
And as we wrapped up this talk, but maybe if you could talk about what people can do, to help with this education center, maybe how they can find out more about this wonderful place.
I think first and foremost is to pray, that our saints will intercede for our causes to help make their message much more real for people today, but also financial support as well, so that we can complete the projects that we've want to complete, so that we can open our doors and continue sharing the story. We do have a website on St. Augustine's, and you could probably get more information from there as well too, for donations online. So
that's great. Well, thank you so much, Father Lane, for talking to us. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.